I remember the sting of laughter as it echoed through the hallway, searing into my memory like a brand. A YouTuber? Really, Mia? What a waste of time. Dad's voice boomed, filled with the kind of disdain you reserve for the worst kind of failures. I stood there, heart pounding, caught in the crossfire of my family's ridicule. That day, I was the embarrassment, the disappointment, just a girl with grand delusions about spreading mental health awareness. But in that moment of rejection, a tiny spark ignited within me, a fierce determination that I would not allow their words to define me. Leaving home felt like tearing away a piece of me, yet it was a departure I had to make. I could no longer bear the weight of their laughter, the sharpness of their derision. I packed my bags, leaving behind the comfort of familiarity for an uncertain path. I plunged into the world of digital content creation, armed with little more than a laptop and an unshakable belief that I had something important to say. The ridicule was relentless. Comments online called me a silly girl and suggested I was wasting my life. But each insult only fueled my resolve. I poured my heart into my videos, sharing my own struggles with anxiety and depression, hoping to create a space where others wouldn't feel alone. I often worked late into the night, fueled by a mixture of coffee and desperation. It was a solitary pursuit, and I often questioned if I was making a difference. Yet slowly, steadily, my online community grew. I built a network of souls who connected with my message, who saw their pain reflected in my stories. They told me I was helping them, that my words were a lifeline in their darkest hours. That was when I understood my purpose. I was not just fighting for validation, I was fighting for a cause that resonated with people everywhere. But the journey was not without its scars. I faced countless setbacks, algorithm changes that buried my videos, sponsorships that fell through, and moments when the weight of self-doubt felt unbearable. I remember one night, staring at my reflection in the screen, tears streaming down my face, whispering to myself, "You're not enough." But somehow I always found a way back. I spoke to my audience about my struggles, about the very real battle I fought against my own mind. It was in those moments of shared vulnerability that I felt the most alive, the most connected. Years passed, and my platform flourished. I ventured beyond the screen, hosting workshops and mental health seminars. I collaborated with therapists and advocates, creating initiatives that reached thousands. I transformed barren lands into thriving ecosystems for mental wellness, with community gardens sprouting up in cities that once felt hopeless. In every small victory, I felt the presence of my family's skepticism fade, replaced by a burgeoning sense of purpose and legitimacy. Then the call came. My younger sister Lily was getting married, and they wanted me to come home. My heart raced with anticipation and anxiety. Part of me wanted to refuse, to forget the past, but another part longed for closure, a chance to confront the ghosts that had haunted me since that fateful day. So I took a deep breath and packed my bags once more. Walking through my childhood home was surreal. The walls still smelled of old wood and memories, but I felt like a stranger. I could sense their eyes on me, a mixture of judgment and curiosity. "What are you doing now, Mia?" Dad asked, a hint of condescension lacing his words. Still playing pretend? But I wasn't the same girl who had walked out those doors years ago. I stood taller, my voice steadier. Actually, I've built a platform around mental health awareness. I've created programs that help people heal. To say their reaction was one of shock would be an understatement. The laughter evaporated as they processed my words. I could see the gears turning in their minds, the realization dawning that I was not just a dreamer. I was a force to be reckoned with. Then came the defining moment. During the wedding reception, I was asked to share a few words. My heart raced as I stepped to the microphone. I spoke about mental health, about the importance of community, and the transformative power of understanding. I shared stories of the people I had met, the struggles we had endured together, and the hope that had blossomed from despair. As I spoke, I noticed my family's faces shifting. The initial skepticism faded, replaced by something akin to pride. I watched as my parents exchanged glances, and for the first time I saw a flicker of recognition, an acknowledgement of the strength it took to pursue a dream against all odds. After my speech, I stepped down, feeling an unfamiliar warmth spreading through me. My dad approached, his expression a mixture of vulnerability and reverence. "Mia, I didn't understand. I'm proud of the work you've done. I'm sorry for how I reacted." Those words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of years lost to misunderstandings. My heart swelled, not with vindication, but with a profound sense of healing. "Thank you, Dad. It means the world to me." In that moment, we were no longer just father and daughter. We were allies in a shared journey toward understanding. As the wedding festivities continued, I found my family watching the joy that unfolded around us. They witnessed firsthand what I had become, not just a digital content creator, but a catalyst for change and healing. The laughter that once stung had transformed into applause, echoed by the supportive voices of those I had fought for all these years. When I left that evening, I felt lighter than I had in years. The journey had been long and filled with struggle, but it led me back to a place of acceptance and reconciliation. I realized that while the path was often fraught with pain, it had also been laced with purpose. And as I stepped into the cool night air, I understood something profound. The voices that once sought to dismiss me had only shaped my resolve. Now I was armed with the knowledge that our dreams are worth pursuing, no matter how ridiculous they may seem to others. Because in the end, it is the mark we leave on the world, the connections we forge, and the healing we inspire that define our true legacy.